It is.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I just remember being a kid and I would ask my mother, you know, how do you spell something or what does something mean? And she'd say,
look it up in a dictionary.
So again, there's access. Like you can Google anything or now ChatGPT anything and get any information you want. And I just hear these kids walking around and it's like they don't have that access. It's like a lot of times what I see is I don't see the connection between you've got all this access at your fingertips, but you don't utilize it. You don't care to utilize it or
you mean to grow?
Yeah.
To be a better person?
To learn. To
learn.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost as if like I hear a lot of kids again speak as if they don't know anything.
So
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, give me an example.
I'm sorry. It's a lot. It's a lot of ignorant ass kids walking around.
We are poor.
Right. I mean, this is I look at and again, it's not everybody, right? But I look at a lot of kids, and these the generation. I don't know the Gen. What are we? We're Gen
X.
We're Gen X.
I think.
So
okay.
Gen Y is. I just there's a lot of young people walking around. There's some ignorant ass kids, and I'm like, how can you like? We live in a society where there's access to so much information, but I don't always see the result of that, and so I'm thinking because as I'm saying that, I know I'm generalizing because. At the same time, there are kids who
are outstanding.
There are kids who are outstanding. And again, I'm catching myself.
Right.
I guess I'm feeling like a parent or
like a dad, like a dad of a 7-year-old.
These young whippersnappers, right? But I think about like kids. I think about like the world that my daughter's going to grow up in. And just that generation, and maybe it's. Our parents and grandparents thought our generation was dumb.
Yeah. It goes back to exposure. Yeah, I think it goes back to exposure and curiosity.
Yeah.
Like
replace judgment with curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are we inspiring them to be curious about?
Sure.
Right? And, I used to have this rule, ask 3 before you ask me in the classroom to get them to have agency to find out the answer, at least attempt to find out the answer before you come to me. So it's just challenging students to be curious. Use your resources to find the answer because, to your point, the answer is at their fingertips now.
Literally.
Right?
Remember we grow up, you say, you've got the world in the palm of your hand. Now you literally do.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. And so it's just a matter of pushing that critical thinking. Like, I think about ChatGPT. It's only as good as the questions you ask.
Amen.
Right?
We were talking about that yesterday.
Right. And so teaching our students to have, curiosity and critical thinking skills is what's going to help them to thrive because we're beyond surviving. Right? We've been doing all right at that. We need to thrive. And so to push it up a notch, we have to make sure they're being critical thinkers and we have to be preparing them for what's happening now. Like we live in a country where we are literally banning Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Meanwhile, in Japan, they have trains that are levitating.
Right.
And, they go faster than a bullet train, right? Like, we're so behind. And not just our kids. I'm talking about, African-American students. I'm talking about just American kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We are ranked 35th in the world, I believe, for literacy. Like, we have a lot of work to do. So curiosity, critical thinking, challenging students to, fact check, right? Wow. We're in a world where fact checking is now obsolete.
You can say what you want.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of work to do. And I think that, back to your point, we can't judge. We have to be curious and ask them questions to get them to think.
And I do want to back up because I caught myself doing what I accuse a lot of other people doing, just in terms of generalizing. And we tend to, when we talk about the younger generation, we tend to talk about, the wayward, the ones who don't get it. And
yes, you do sound like a father. He said wayward. I'm sorry.
but I remember I have been working on making a proactive effort to also shine light on our young people who do get it. And not just generalizing, I feel like if we, kids who are on the fence are going to go where the attention goes. So if we keep giving the attention to the dark side, the kids are going to go toward that, as opposed to if we shine more light on the light.
Right.